The way the snow is pelting down, I should really be able to enjoy watching my body just be covered with snow. Where the fuck are the War on Christmas people when you need them? So, this is VersaLife. It all looks more or less the same, right? A little bit more decorative out front, and there's nothing that's... Oh my god. Why is there a giant fish tank that's got an access hatch at the top? Why does it have a clip of 7.62 ammunition in it? Why is there a health pack in the fish tank? Why is the only way into this fish tank to crawl through a vent? Why is there a lockpick in the vent? Seriously, can you imagine the guys that have to like empty and fill the fish tanks whenever there's something on or they're cleaning them? Carrying like buckets all the way through these. Oh god, imagine trying to like refill it. Imagine if they had to get someone to check on the fish. How did they get the plants in there? Why is there an open room right above the fish tank? Okay, why does nobody care about me swimming in the fish tank? Right? Why is there a bioelectric cell? What if we try another way to get their attention? Nope. That's all fine. Apparently that's all good. We're all fine. Everyone's fine. Oh, now you notice me. Now they're like that guest swimming in the fish tank. He's got a sword. Stop him. So after all of that, like, once we get past those guys, it's what's in the actual like restricted VersaLife area. That's got to be amazing, right?
Security is watching through the cameras. If you cause trouble, an alarm will sound, and the guards won't wait to ask questions.
Yes, sir. I'll try not to get in anyone's way.
What I love about this, though, is that clearly, no one reported to him that I was swimming around in the fish tank. In the original game, this was quite a big moment. I mean, this was clearly Majestic 12's territory, and they had clearly, like, set up the boring offices with their slightly Orwellian screens as sort of a facade for the public, while all this grandiosity was just only available to those on the inside. But let's be honest, like, even shitty government departments like UNATCO have shiny floors now, so that's not impressive. That hand symbol isn't familiar because it wasn't set up like that in the intro, because we needed the freaky sex dolls on TV put up there instead for some reason. And honestly, okay, you guys have got the big evil looking archways. Those guys back there in the lobby, you know what they got, buddy? Do you know what they have?
Hear that? Nothing. Must have been a glitch.
They got a giant fucking fish tank, man. They got like a $50 million fish tank just sitting there. You guys ain't got shit. Now the thing with a set piece of this size is that it begs exploration. It asks the player to look at it, to ponder it. Think about why it's here, what it might contribute. And thus, if you make a set piece this huge, and then you don't like even think about some basics like how do they get the fish in there? How is it maintained? How did the plants get in there? Why are the items that you find in there? Who built this and why? Basically what you're doing is begging the people watching to come to the conclusion. A singular conclusion. None of this makes any fucking sense, who cares? Which is great in a video game where you want people to come to that conclusion. Earthworm Jim, for example. It is not so great in a video game where you're supposed to ponder the weight of each of your actions and assess the value of life and then decide the fate of the world at the end of the game. It's just a bad idea.
Maybe you should cross your legs, undo yourself, and try to read my mind.
What? Dude, they don't even give you a little fish tank?
God!
So is he gonna come like running to see who's been fucking with his console? Is he even gonna be like hostile? No? I think more than any other minor change, this room really highlights just how little of a fuck Caustic Creative really gave. A graphic for Ambrosia above the PC with the Super Sword schematics. Of course. Okay, now a brief interlude in between VersaLife visits so that we can... Did fuckers even Google Buddhism?
So we shall form one blade, not the male and female swords of Ganjiang, one which must avenge the other, but one weapon, precise in its purpose, though wielded by many arms.
And much as the steel sharpens its edge and anneals its own surfaces, let us preserve, together, the form of our traditions.
The only enduring work of man.
Shout out to this monk
that
who
which
just
is
seems
born
to be
again
lost.
with the next generation.
Forever.
Forever.
There's a back way at the north end of the Canal Road Tunnel, which is just east of the temple.
Now, I would just like to point out that once again, in classic Caustic Creative style, they fucked up the directions here. If someone told me east of the temple, I would probably assume this east of this temple, which is the Luminous Path Triad compound, and this crazy old homeless guy who somehow knows who we are. And if we assume they meant this temple here, well, what's east of it is, well, that second area that Caustic Creative added because fuck you. This shitty place that makes no sense. Basically nothing of any value. In fact, the directions that he should be giving are to the south of the closed temple. But hey, fuck those of you who know how to use a compass. Amazingly though, they did manage to get it right that it is at least at the north end of Canal Road. Don't fuck with sewer grates in Hong Kong. Apparently they're like one of the sturdiest structures. Oh, that's helpful. I'm glad that they put a mirror there that lets me see that there's enemies that way. After 8 million levels involving trial and error to get through revision, you'd really appreciate that. Maggie, go away. Go away, I'm trying to work out how I want to synthesize myself.
Bad move, Agent.
You should never have sent me to the police station. What did you expect? That they would arrest me? Turns out you're on your way to being one of Hong Kong's most wanted yourself.
I have always been one of the most wanted. I will deal with the police in the way I deal with the slanderous press.
How's that?
Precisely the way I am going to deal with you. Oh, Kratos!
I cannot. I am not allowed. Time is up.
But I never hired you. They've added this weird stat counter thing here. And now, if you like kill a dude, it's going to tell you that you've failed the achievement to kill no one but Anna Navarra. Which I might add, I have not killed Anna Navarra, and somehow the system has not detected me as cheating, so good work on the cheat prevention there, Caustic Creative. But in any case, it will detect that. But because it works on a tally system, it can't detect anything from previous save games. So even though I've murdered this dude, okay, so normally this is like a bit of a dilemma. Do we make a deal with the corrupt Hundley, or do we not make a deal?
If I get you down there, can you do something for me?
What's that?
Hunley, kill him. I bet you could do it. You guys have ways to keep from getting caught. I can give you clearance.
I already killed him.
You what?
The guy in the suit, right? I took him out. Part of an intelligence operation.
You mean...
We didn't actually kill him, but
It's a big operation down there.
if you're going to implement a thing that tracks like how many people you knock unconscious and that, best to check for like issues like, does the game register unconscious as dead? But in any case, we made a promise. We're going to keep our promise. Now, the system that they've used here is pretty much incompatible with Deus Ex. It's a system you might use for blood money. Because in blood money, 47 doesn't give a shit. People aren't people to him. They're targets. He kills them or doesn't kill them, depending on what the mission dictates. In Deus Ex, the game asks us to consider that everyone we kill is a tiny digital murder. And these people, even scum like Hundley, probably have family, lives, dreams, hopes. They may change their minds later. They may have someone innocent depending on them, things like that.
A corpse, yes. You feel something. I must know what you're feeling.
Not so with Revision. Revision just, in their haste to add more achievements and make it look like they're doing work, decided to implement this system where it tracks whether you've killed people. Now, because I've loaded a saved game, it doesn't register that I've killed anyone yet. So, if I throw Hundley's body in here, I should have murdered him, and it should tell me that I have forfeited the very necessary sacrifice achievement, which is the one that you get for getting through and only killing an Anabara. And I would just still like to point out that my waifu is alive and well. They will never make me kill her, no matter how hard they try. Oh, maybe he's just sleeping, you say? Maybe he's really fine. He's just napping, right? Just napping in the fish tank. Nope, he's dead. He's dead, Jim. And my record is untarnished. That pretty much goes entirely against the spirit of what Warren Spector was asking us to do when we played Deus Ex, and consider that, you know, perhaps rampant slaughter and just killing people because they're inconvenient is wrong. Oh, well, no, not in Revision. You just got to make sure that you do it in a way that the game won't blame you for. And just in case you had any doubts, it's hunting season. The unavoidable sacrifice. Ugh. Did not need to see that. One interesting factor to note about this new system with the achievement and the kill count and the notification that you've flubbed achievements is that now the life of a Greasel is twice as valuable as the life of a person. One poster.
Pig.
Killing all the way. Maggie, you're almost certainly probably going to die horribly, but the good news is it won't be counted against me because it's not me hitting you with a weapon. And that is apparently the only way in which we kill people.
Success. Viral production has been
I love this because this would also be like, if you were playing for the first time, massive spoilers. Oh god, literally everything you can do is being monitored. What? Yeah, that's great info. I'm glad we're tracking that. I really do want this game just to become Hitman. Blood leaked. Is that 11 mils, 11 gallons, 11 animations? Okay. On page 30, you find something that might actually interest a human being. I'm not sure Warren Spector would be impressed with tracking this so casually. Zombies? What? Now, I'm sure that someone is going to argue that this is basically just, it's the idea, and it's just an idea, and it's just a bit of a, it's a feature. But it's really not. And to stress my point, I'd like to draw your attention to this, where Warren Spector quoted a tweet from David Mullich, who used a chart from Derek Sivers. So this is a pretty widely accepted idea. And that is, ideas aren't really that valuable. Tracking stats and making them available to the player and linking them to achievements hasn't really been an idea for a long time in video games. And it's one that's better suited to games like GTA or Saints Row, where you're supposed to be liberated from consequences and just run around creating mayhem in a consequence-free environment. With dick jokes. But anyway, so when implemented into a game where the whole point is consequences, it becomes an awful idea. And so the reason it doesn't seem so bad is just because it is weak execution. Can you imagine how terrible this would be if it had great execution? This may be the one time that I am actually grateful that Caustic Creative are so slapdash and lazy in their approach to these things. Ultimately, these are all symptoms of the greater problem with revision, and to be honest, a lot of people's first mod. The primary consideration isn't really what does the game mean, what is the game to other people? How will other people view this? The primary consideration is, I think I know how to do a thing. Let's do it. And it leads to this sort of bizarre hodgepodge, which is contradictory to the original purpose of the game, the original message, and ultimately just sort of reflects a pointless no-win scenario where opportunities are missed and instead we get bizarre shit like counters to tell us how many times cats have swiped their paws during our gameplay. The information that we need to know.
Other problems. UNATCO? Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike on the statue. I have someone in place, though. I'm more concerned about Savage. He relocated to Vandenberg.
Our biochem corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas that...
Don't know if I care for your sense of humor.
Humor?